see you made it to the office today.
Okay, I guess.
Good, good. Well, Dawn, I'm glad to see you made it here. And I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm Ashley Knott, and I'm a student at Indiana Wesleyan. So I'm glad you're here with us today. Did you have any trouble finding the office?
No.
Okay. So I'll just get started with some formal consents, and then we'll get on with our session. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
So, I just want to go over our confidentiality statement. I know you did receive paperwork on that when you came in, but I just want to go over a few of the things that I feel are very important for us to communicate together. So my main thought is confidentiality. So what we talk about today in our space stays in our space, um, unless you're harm to yourself. If you would happen to report harm to others, um, if there's like elderly or child endangerment, those are things that we would need to discuss with other entities. We would also report to my supervisor. As a student, the idea is to keep you safe, and it's very important that I stop with my supervisor so they know um, what we're doing is the right thing. Do you have any problems with any of those things? Good. Good. Are you ready for the holidays? Is your family excited for that?
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, yeah, I never get excited this time of year.
Sure, sure. So I know my family's excited. I don't know how ready I am, but we're excited for that. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Uh, Not much. Father of one kid. Work all time. Married. Seems like I like to basically I like to work out in the yard. Like to work in the garage. Like to tinker. Kind of that type of stuff. Kind of smooths. Soothes my head a little bit.
Sure, sure. Sounds like you've got some good things going on
Mm-hmm.
in your world. So, what brings you in to see me today?
I was man because of been feeling a little bit of depressed and just tired all the time.
Well, I see that you're yawning.
Yeah, no motivation, don't do much. No get up and go to me, I guess.
So, what is you said that you work all the time. So, what is your work schedule like?
I work nights. And when you're working nights, and you just try to get the few hours sleep during the day, then you got to get up and do other things, and I mean, it just feels like you work all the time.
Sure. I can't imagine that's definitely difficult to adjust since our bodies are used to being day shift people. So I can understand how that would be difficult for you. How long have you been on night shift?
I'd say over 20 something years now, 21, 22 years.
Oh my gosh. Has it gotten any easier for you over
No,
the
I think
years?
it's harder.
Um, has your sleep patterns changed recently to cause this increase in fatigue?
No, it just, I usually feel like I run on about 5 hours sleep. Yeah, it's just a norm.
So what is the reasons that you need to, I know you said your sleep is interrupted, so you'll sleep a few hours and then do you sleep again? Do you take like a nap before work or
Yeah, I usually try to finish before work. that type of thing.
Do you feel better after the nap, or do you feel worse, essentially?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel bad.
Do you have a specific schedule for your napping? Like, do you have that planned into your daily routine to make sure you get a nap before?
Yeah, I try to, say that.
So, do you have someone that helps you with your daughter? Okay. Okay. So, sure it's hard to keep your daughter. Is she younger?
She's 7.
So she's probably loud while you're napping. Okay. Um, is she usually there while you're napping, or is she with your wife somewhere else, or
No, she's usually there.
she usually here? So even your nap is interrupted.
Yeah.
It's not a good solid nap.
No.
Well, I mean that kind of explains why you're fatigued and your lack of motivation. You're not sleeping. That's um. It, is there a reason that you're on night shift? That you've stayed on it this long? Or?
Just the way the job is.
Okay. So, I mean, it sounds definitely like, sleep is really affecting you. Um, why is your sleep interrupted? I mean, what is it that you have to get up early for?
Well, you have to get up to get your daughter off school.
Okay.
So,
Okay. That makes sense. Is there anyone in your family that would be able to help you, or an after school care program that may be able to help with this lack of sleep?
there might be an after school program, but when it was family wise, that's that time of day, everyone's busy.
Sure, sure. That makes sense that, you might not have somebody available to you. Um, how is work for you? What kind of work do you do?
It's just factory work.
So it's hard work.
It can be, and again, some days it is, some days it's not.
Okay.
It drags, because it's, the same thing every day in, day out.
Sure. So are you bored with your work?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It don't take long to get bored.
So you said you like to fiddle and to tinker and to do yard work and things like that. Do you make time for those things, or do you have those scheduled in your schedule?
Just
You look at it too. Okay. Do you have help with your household chores? Does your wife help with those? Okay. So, what do you and your wife do to ease your stress in your life? Do you guys get together for date nights, or can you tell me about your relationship? Like, how's that go?
it's okay, I guess. It's like normal. I mean, you don't do much work, and you do family stuff.
Mhm. Well, you said that she's usually home by then when you said you take your nap at 7. So, what's her schedule like? Does she work during the day as well?
Yeah, she.
Okay. So that leaves it definitely to you for after school care.
Mm-hmm.
Do can you tell me some strengths in your life? Like, what are some good things happening for you?
I guess we can say that we have a roof over our head, and we have food, and the work does pay the bills. So.
Sure. Did you go to college, Don?
Just for a little bit.
You still live? Okay.
Yeah.
So you have some educational background that's helped you along the way, I'm sure. Do do you get out with friends or anything much?
Very rarely. Very rarely. Yeah.
Do you think that may help with some of your motivation if you were out with, friends and amongst adult peers and things like that?
Oh yeah, I think it would. Help think everybody else though.
What kind of stuff has your mind been on?
Just making sure bills are paid and just getting by.
Is there any financial issues or troubles that you and your wife are experiencing?
No, not that I think of. I mean, it's just your normal bills. It's just you got to have them paid.
Sure. Well, and I think with our economy now, everybody's struggling a little bit with that.
Oh yeah.
With the increases in things. Are you guys handling those okay with your current incomes?
Oh yeah, you eat a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on?
So we've made adjustments, and that can be stressful too, making adjustments in our budget to suit our needs rather than our wants. What kind of other adjustments have you made in your life recently? Have you had anything that you can think of that has changed to cause you additional stress?
Oh. Yeah, we might have a few drinks every once in a while at home. That's just about it.
How often are you having drinks out?
Usually a couple a day.
Do you feel like that's a problem for you?
A little bit, but not really. I mean, it's not something I try to, it ain't like a pass out drunk type of thing like, like you do on a night out partying or anything like that.
Just something to help calm you down. What kind of coping skills or ways have you used in the past that's helped you get through stress?
No, I've used to work out or exercise, or I used to go out in the garage and, work on building something.
Sure. But it just seems like there's no time for that stuff. So how long have you been having drinks of the evening?
Uh, Definitely quite a few months now.
So this is still fairly new. It's not your
It's kind of new, but
kind of your new
yeah.
norm. Has it worsened? Like, has it increased?
I wouldn't say it's increased. I'd just say it's about norm, a few so many a day.
Do you feel like it affects your work? Do you feel like you are still able to go to work and not miss and not be late?
No, yeah.
So you're still functioning
No.
quite well.
Trouble. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid.
Are you ever worried that you had a few drinks and you may not make it into work the next day? Is your wife aware that you have a few drinks every
Yes.
night? And how is she with that? Does she feel like that's okay?
No, it's your kids that turn their head the other way.
So there's no issues at home related to your drinking that
No, not that I'm aware.
you don't have any feelings of hurting yourself or
No.
so I think what we need to do is maybe think of some goals for you. Do you want to stop drinking? Is this something you're interested in? So maybe we need to kind of think of ways to help with that. So there are AA meetings that a lot of folks go to, and it is called Alcoholic Anonymous. But in my past experience, people don't necessarily have to be an addict or considered an alcoholic to go. People who are on that edge can go there and they can get support from peers that are in similar situations. Many a times people who run those meetings are sober people who have been in your shoes and have used substances for support rather than using coping skills and things. So I feel like we have some things that they may be able to help you with. Does that sound interesting to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think too, I know you said that you don't get out with friends much. That may be a good place to meet folks, and get those connections and those bonds with the. It seems like you may be lacking in your personal life. Um, Another thing I think we need to work on is maybe your sleeping. I think I know it's really difficult, especially with the night shift. I feel like that's a huge obstacle that it doesn't sound like can be changed. But maybe we can start working more on that nap, that evening nap, so that way you get that more intense sleep rather than the awake sleep. So maybe that's something you could plan on discussing with your wife this week and seeing if there's some ways that maybe she can change what her and your daughter do while you're trying to. Have you tried to use like the sound machines and things like that in your room to add that extra noise in the background so maybe you're not being as interrupted when your daughter's there?
No, I have not. I usually, sometimes I have the TV on low or something.
Do you feel like that helps having the TV on?
Yes, sometimes,
Okay,
yes.
so that may be an option. Have you talked with your medical doctor about your sleeping
No.
issues? Okay, so while I feel like this is going to be very beneficial for us to talk and to kind of go through some of these things, it might be a good idea to talk with your medical doctor as well that you're having sleeping issues and some depression, even some drinking. They may need to do some blood levels and some things just to make sure that you're not having some kind of imbalance. Endocrine system can cause some sleeping issues. It can also cause some depression if your system is off, like if your thyroid, for example, thyroid can cause you to have some of those feelings that you may be having. So I would recommend that you would see your family doctor. Do you have a family doctor currently?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. Have you seen him lately?
About once a year.
Once a year. So do you know when the next time you're due?
It's in, see him every, I think it's usually like late spring.
Spring. So maybe we could just call him and say, hey, I've been having some issues and I would really like to come in and talk about those. I think it may be a good starting point. No offense, but as we get older, things change and that may be of a benefit to you. I think so we've covered your drinking for today. And we've covered talking with the medical doctor, and we've talked about getting some sleep. For our sessions, I think we should meet at least once a week. Is that something you think you can do?
If it would help, seeing a change.
Do you feel comfortable to talk with your wife about some of these things that you're experiencing? Okay. Is that something you would want to incorporate into our sessions? Is having your
Sure.
Okay.
She probably appreciate it.
So, and I feel like sometimes too, when we're talking about making changes in the household, I feel like that sometimes having your spouse involved can help, not necessarily tell you what to do exactly, but to maybe help change how you guys are doing things. And so maybe she can kind of say, well, hey, actually, we can go to dinner or something on the nights that you work, so that way you can actually get that. Or maybe she can make some changes in how helping you maybe pick up your daughter, or maybe plan ahead. You guys can kind of maybe work on some budgeting things to maybe plan for the after school care so that way you're getting the extra sleep. So I think having her in here and having some input, maybe not every visit, but for at least once or twice, just to see how things go. Um, does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, sure. And Scott,
Okay. So,
change.
yeah, I think that's good. And then if she feels like she would like to have some sessions, we can refer her to one of our colleagues so that way she can have her space. You can have your space, and then we can come together and some group space as well. Does that sound okay?
Good plan.
So we will plan on seeing you again next week. We'll have you work on your goals that we've talked about today. And then I think we'll just do a short term plan of maybe we could do plan for 6 weeks. And then at the end of that 6 weeks, we'll talk about whether we need to terminate our sessions, which would mean that you don't need me anymore and you can just call me as needed. Or do we need to extend this and further our plan? Does that sound okay?
Sounds good with you.